Hi Dodo, so this is for automation presentation. So here is my group member, which is On Seung Tin, Sarita, Tan Yue, and Lo Jianwei.
Today, I will speak about the introduction, which is this test plan guides the functional of Blackboard testing of the Evershop-based e-commerce application using equivalence partitioning. Cypress is used to UI automation and validation process both admin and also customer interfaces. The testing cover almost 30 text fields in key modules such as product, coupon management, user profile, and authentication. For the non-functional testing, like for example, performance, load, and also the security is excluded. These documents serve as the master test plan (MTP) and focuses on system level testing (SLT) to ensure reliable and error-free system functionality.
Hello, I will present about the Cypress coding. When the Cypress is executed, it will go to the target website, which is localhost 3000 ME. It will type the email password and click the button, which is submit to log in the website. Then go to click the page, then is contain new product, and the URL should be sent as the localhost 3000 ME product new. For the first test case, we have two variables, one for the valid data, another one for the invalid data. The invalid data include blank space, number only, symbol only, and negative value. Then the Cypress will test the create a new product screen by valid data first and get the element to type the value they was write down in the coding. For example, for the line 25, the Cypress will type the valid data into the element which is named. After fill in all the data, it will click the button named Save, and the Cypress should see the product saved successfully message to determine the test case with valid data is passed. After that, for the invalid data, it will looping to test invalid data from the invalid product name variable, and index will increment every time the loop being run to prevent the URL and SKU is sent with the product was cleared before. Then the coding is sent like valid data. The difference is the Cypress will type the invalid data into the element which is named. After that, it will click the Save button, and the Cypress should see the alert or extension message to determine the test case with invalid data is passed. The second test case is price. Valid data include decimal number, integer, and invalid data includes blank space, alphabet, symbol, and negative values. The coding is sent, the Cypress will type the valid data, click the Save button, and determine the test case with valid data is passed when the website displaying product saved successfully message. In here, the Cypress will look for each invalid data and type into the test fields 11 that name is price. After filling all the data, it will click the Save button and determine the test case with invalid data is passed, where the website shows the alert for the price test fields or exception message. The next test case is weight. Valid data include the zero and decimal number, and invalid data include blank space, alphabet, symbol, and negative value. The Cypress will looping for each valid data of weight and type the data for all test fields, then click the Save button. When website display product saved successfully, means that the test case is passed. Then the Cypress will look for each invalid data and type into the test field element that name is weight. After filling all the data, it will click the Save button and determine the test case with invalid data is passed when the website shows the error for the red text fields or exception message. Now is the test case for the quantity. Valid data is integer and invalid data include plain space, alphabet, symbol, decimal number, and negative values. The Cypress will type the data for all test fields and click the Save button. When website display product save successfully, means that the test case is passed. So the Cypress will look for each invalid data and type into the test fields element that name is quantity. After filling in the data for all the test fields, it will click the Save button and determine the test case is passed or no. The fifth test case is description. Valid data is combination of alphanumerical and symbol. Invalid data include blank space, number only, symbol only, and combination of number and symbol. The Cypress will type the valid data for all the test fields and click the Save button. When the website display product save successfully, means that the test case is passed. So the Cypress will look for each invalid data and type into the test fields. Element name is paragraph block when content editable is true. After filling in the data for all the test fields, it will click the Save button and determine the test case is passed when it sees the error for the red test field or exception message. So that's all for me. My teammate will continue to present another test case.
For the test case URL key, first it define a valid URL key, Nike Revolution 10, and also prepare a list of invalid inputs like then, numbers only, symbols only, and disallow combination which I use in separate negative test scenario. So then the test automatically fill in all required product field with valid data, product name as Nike Revolution 5, a unique SKU price 100 weight 10, a sample description quantity 100, and the valid URL key and meta title. After that, it clicks the save button and checks that the success message product saved successfully will appear on the screen. And it uses a for each loop to go through each invalid URL key one by one, like then, numbers only, symbols only, and the back combination, and test them automatically. So it will fill in all other required field with valid data, product name, price, rate, sample description, quantity, and meta title, and enter the current invalid URL key value from the loop and can click on the save button, then it will an error alert containing the word exception will be visible on the screen. So this code is another Cypress automated test which is called as meta title. It focuses on checking the meta title field when creating a product in Evershop. So first it defines a valid meta title value Nike R5, then it creates an array of invalid input to test it later, including the blank space, symbols, number only, and negative value. So the test shown here is the positive scenario. It fills the entire product form with the valid data for the product name, price, rate, a sample description, quantity, a valid URL key, and the valid meta title. So after that, click the save button. It will check that the success message product saved successfully will be appear on the screen. It uses a for each loop to automatically test each invalid meta title value from the array defined earlier, which is band space, symbol only, number only, and negative numbers. So for each invalid case, the test will generate unique value for SKU and URL key to avoid the conflicts, and it will fill all the product field with valid data, which is product name, price, rate, a sample description, and quantity. After that, it will enter the current invalid meta title value, then click on the save button. then check the error alert containing the word exception will be displayed. So this efficient negative test will ensure that Evershock properly detect and brought invalid inputs in the metadata field to preventing the only symbols, number only band, and negative value show an error message and stop the product from being saved.
So now I will execute the code for add new product screen. So the first test case is the validation of product name field. It will input valid data and invalid data. So we can see that for test case 1, product name field, it field for the invalid data, which are the blank space, the numbers, the symbols, and the negative value. It all fields. So for the second test case is the price field. The two valid data is pass. And the all invalid data also pass. So the third test case is the wet field. The two valid data also pass. And also the invalid data pass. So the fourth test case is quantity field. So we can see that the valid quantity 50 is passed. And also all the invalid quantity data is also passed. So the next one, the fifth test case is description field. The valid description data also passed. For the invalid descriptions, blank space it field. And the invalid description with numbers only also field. Invalid data for symbols only also field. And the combination of numbers and symbol also field. So the next test case is URL key field. So the valid URL Nike Revolution 10, it accept, it pass. And the invalid URL key with blank space, it also pass. For numbers only, it's fail. For symbol only, it pass. For the combination of the this show spot, it fail. And the last test case is meta title field. So it show that the valid data is pass, but the blank space fail, and also the symbol. The number also fail, numbers only. And the last one, the negative numbers invalid data, it also fail. So the results show that a total of 24 test data is passed and the 14 is failed. So the failed test case is focused on first the product name field, the test case 1. The invalid product name test data is all failed. And then the next one is description field, invalid description with the all data also failed. And also URL key, but it's only fill the invalid URL key with numbers and also the show spot. And the last one, the invalid meta title, all fill. So it records a total of 14 numbers of test data was filled.
For the recommendation part, we took the product screen field test case as our example. So the test ID is T11. And the data type is blank space, numbers only, symbols only, missing symbols and numbers. So all this data type got the same issue, which is when we enter the invalid data, but the error message does not come up. So which means the system is accept the invalid test data, so it is a fail. My recommendation for the data type balance pair is update the error message to invalid data type URL key can be empty. And for the number only is update the error message to invalid data type. URL key can only contain the letters, number, and hyphens. Symbols only is update the error message to invalid data type. URL key can only contain letters, number, and hyphens. And the last for the missing symbols and number is update the error message to invalid data type. The URL key must contain at least one letter and can only include the letter, numbers, and hyphens. So this is another field test case in the product screen. So it is meta title and the data type your band spec, symbols only, then number only, and integer. So they are also have the same issue, which is the invalid data can be entered, but the error message do not display. So for the integer is invalid data enter but did not display the error message, and my suggestion is can add the validation and display error message, which is invalid data type meta title can only contain letters and numbers. So same for the other data type, which need to update the error message.
For the comparison part, there are manual testing and also automation testing. For the manual testing, the definition: in manual testing, test cases are executed by the human tester without any tools. And then for the automation testing, the testing is used tools and script to execute test case automatically. For the second is processing time. Manual testing is time consuming and require more human effort because the human will check one by one. And for the automated testing is much faster than the manual testing. Exploring testing. Exploring testing is possible in manual testing, and also the automation testing doesn't support any random or exploratory testing. For the reliability, manual testing is less reliable due to possible human errors and also fatigue. Automated testing is more reliable because it's executed by tools and script without any fatigue. So the performance testing is not feasible manually, and performance testing such as load, stress, and spike testing are done automation tools. For the test design, manual unit tests do not drive the coding design process. The automated unit test support test driven development, which is TDD. And the last one,